the last diplomat. A message in the void. Captain Saracen stared at the strange signal on her screen. It had been pulsing for 3 days now, coming from deep space where nothing should exist. The Wanderer, humanity's newest exploration vessel, had picked it up while mapping the outer reaches of the Kepler sector. Any progress decoding it? She asked her communications officer. Lieutenant Marcus Webb shook his head. It's not like anything in our database, Captain. But it's definitely intentional. Someone is trying to talk to us. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Humanity had been searching for alien life for 200 years. They had found planets with bacteria, moons with simple organisms, but never anything intelligent. Never anything that could build technology and send messages across the stars. Set a course for the signal's origin, she ordered. And send word back to Earth. Tell them we might have finally found what we've been looking for. The journey took 5 days. As the Wanderer approached the coordinates, Sarah's crew gathered on the bridge. Everyone wanted to see what they would find. What appeared on their screens made them gasp. A massive structure floated in space. It looked like a sphere made of glass and metal, covered in lights that flickered in patterns. The signal was coming from inside. Life signs? Sarah asked quietly. Yes, Captain, replied the science officer. Thousands of them. Different types, different biologies. This isn't just one species. It's many species living together. Sarah's heart raced. This was bigger than first contact with one alien race. This was contact with an entire civilization, maybe dozens of civilizations. Prepare a greeting message, she said. Use every language we know. Include mathematics, music, art. Show them who we are. The Council's judgment. The response came within an hour. It was a video transmission showing a massive chamber filled with creatures Sarah could barely comprehend. Some had scales, others had fur. Some looked like insects, others like plants. They sat in a circle around a central platform, and their technology translated their words into English. Welcome, humans, said a tall being with 4 arms and skin like polished stone. I am Magistrate Vortok of the Galactic Assembly. We have been watching your species for many years, waiting to see if you were ready for this moment. Sarah appeared on screen, trying to hide her shock. This is Captain Saracen of the United Earth Space Navy. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge. Vortok's face showed something that might have been a smile. Peace is what all young species claim to want. But we have learned to be careful. Your world is unique, Captain. It breeds a special kind of creature. What do you mean? Sarah asked. Earth is a death world, another alien spoke up, this one covered in what looked like crystals. High gravity, extreme weather, predators everywhere. Most intelligent species evolve on gentle worlds. Your planet is a nightmare, and you are its children. Sarah felt her crew shifting uncomfortably around her. We've learned to survive, she said carefully. That has made us strong, yes. But it has also taught us to work together. Or perhaps it has simply made you dangerous, Vortok said. The Assembly must decide if humanity is worthy of joining the galactic community. We will study your history, your culture, your intentions. Then we will vote. The transmission ended, leaving Sarah and her crew in stunned silence. The price of truth. Over the next 3 weeks, the aliens questioned Sarah and her crew endlessly. They asked about Earth's wars, its pollution, its treatment of other species. They examined human psychology, biology, and technology. They seemed particularly interested in humanity's capacity for violence. Sarah answered every question honestly. She did not hide the mistakes her species had made. She talked about the wars, the suffering, the times humanity had failed to live up to its ideals. But she also talked about progress, about how humans had learned from their errors and built a better world. Finally, the day of judgment arrived. Sarah was summoned to appear before the full assembly. As she stood on the central platform, thousands of alien eyes watched her from above. Captain Chen, Vortok began, we have completed our investigation. Humanity is indeed remarkable. You have achieved much in a short time. But we have also seen darkness in your past. Wars that killed millions. Weapons that could destroy your own planet. A history written in blood. Every species has darkness in its past, Sarah replied. What matters is that we learned from it. We united. We grew. We're ready to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Vortok was silent for a long moment. Then he raised one of his 4 arms. The Assembly has voted. By a count of 8-4, we have decided that humanity is too dangerous to join the galactic community. Your request is denied. Sarah felt the words hit her like a physical blow. You're making a mistake. We came here offering friendship. And we are showing wisdom by refusing it, said the crystalline alien. Return to your small corner of space, Captain. Stay there. If you expand beyond your current borders, if you attempt to contact the Assembly again, there will be consequences. What kind of consequences? Sarah asked, her voice shaking with anger. Vortok's expression was cold. We have destroyed dangerous species before. We will not hesitate to do so again. Go home, human. Be grateful we are letting you live. The transmission cut off. The long journey home. The wanderer began its journey back to Earth in silence. Sarah sat in her quarters, replaying the Assembly's words in her mind. They had called humans dangerous. They had threatened to destroy Earth if humanity didn't stay small and afraid. Lieutenant Webb came to check on her. Captain, are you okay? Sarah looked up at him. They judged us before we even spoke. They saw where we came from and decided we were monsters. Everything we said, everything we showed them, it didn't matter. What do we tell Earth? Webb asked. Sarah stood up, her jaw set with determination. We tell them the truth. We found intelligent life out there. And they want nothing to do with us. They think we're too dangerous to exist alongside them. She walked to the window, looking out at the stars. But they made a mistake, Marcus. They showed us that we're not welcome in this galaxy. They showed us that kindness and honesty mean nothing to them. They only respect force. What are you saying, Captain? Sarah turned back to face him, and her eyes were hard. I'm saying that if the galaxy wants to see us as dangerous, then maybe it's time we showed them just how dangerous Earth's children can be. The Wanderer continued its journey home, carrying a message that would change humanity forever. The aliens had made their choice. Now humanity would make theirs. And the galaxy would never be the same, the storm rising. Earth's response. The news spread across Earth like wildfire. Every screen, every device, every communication channel carried Captain Chen's report. 8 billion people watched the Assembly's rejection, heard their threats, saw the contempt in alien eyes. In Geneva, the United Earth government convened an emergency session. Leaders from every nation gathered in the Great Hall, their faces grim. President James Morrison stood at the podium, an old soldier with steel-gray hair and eyes that had seen too much war. They have drawn a line, he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. They tell us to stay small, stay quiet, stay afraid. They threaten us with extinction if we dare to reach beyond our current borders. He paused, letting his words sink in. Humanity has faced extinction before. Ice ages, plagues, wars. Every time, we survived. Every time, we came back stronger. This will be no different. What are you proposing? Asked Chancellor Wei of the Asian Union. Morrison pulled up a holographic display showing the galaxy. For 200 years, we have spread slowly, carefully, building colonies on a handful of worlds. We did this because we believed the galaxy would welcome us eventually. That belief was wrong. He gestured, and the display changed, showing dozens of star systems. These are our targets. Resource-rich systems outside Assembly territory. We will expand faster than they can stop us. We will build a network of colonies so vast, so strong, that they cannot threaten us without starting a war they cannot win. You're talking about an arms race, said someone from the back of the room. I'm talking about survival, Morrison replied. The assembly made it clear. They see us as a threat. In their eyes, we are already the enemy. The only question is whether we will be a weak enemy or a strong one. The vote was close, but it passed. Earth would expand. Earth would grow strong. And if the assembly objected, well, they would find out exactly how dangerous humans could be. Silent expansion. The next 5 years saw humanity spread across the stars like never before. Colony ships left Earth every week, heading to distant systems. Construction crews built space stations and mining facilities. Scientists developed new weapons and faster ships. But they did it all in secret. Every colony was hidden, built in systems the assembly had never explored. Every ship used stealth technology to avoid detection. Every facility was designed to look like natural phenomena on sensors. Commander Jake Rodriguez oversaw the construction of Outpost 7, a massive military base hidden inside an asteroid field. He had been with Captain Chen on the Wanderer, had heard the assembly's threats firsthand. How many ships do we have now? He asked his second-in-command. 1,700 warships, Lieutenant Park replied. 300 more under construction. And the new quantum torpedoes are ready for deployment. Jake nodded. 5 years ago, Earth had 50 ships, mostly exploration vessels. Now they had an armada. Any sign the assembly knows what we're doing? None. They think we crawled back to our corner of space and gave up. They stopped watching us 2 years ago. Good, Jake said. Let them think that. Let them believe we accepted their judgment. But he knew the truth. Earth was preparing for war. Not a war of conquest, but a war of survival. And when it came, the assembly would regret every word they had said to Captain Chen. The breaking point. The crisis began with a distress signal. A small human research station, studying an unusual star formation, sent an emergency transmission. They were under attack. The footage showed assembly warships destroying the station. Scientists who had been studying cosmic rays were being slaughtered because they had crossed an invisible boundary the assembly had never bothered to inform them about. Dr. Lisa Park, a young astrophysicist, appeared in the final transmission. She was bleeding from a head wound, and her face was filled with terror. Please, we didn't know, she begged. We're scientists. We just wanted to learn. Please don't. The transmission cut to static. Captain Sarah Chen, now an admiral commanding Earth's defense fleet, watched the video with cold fury. She had warned Earth's leaders this would happen. She had told them the assembly would never accept humanity's presence in the galaxy. How many people were on that station? She asked. 47, her aide replied quietly. All civilians. All unarmed. Sarah stood up from her chair. Get me President Morrison. It's time. Within hours, the order went out to every human colony, every warship, every hidden base. Operation Prometheus was beginning. Earth would not hide anymore. The first strike. The assembly's border station detected the human fleet too late. 300 warships appeared out of nowhere, their weapons already firing. The station's defenses were designed to handle pirates and smugglers, not a coordinated military assault. Admiral Chen watched from the bridge of the Vengeance, humanity's newest and most powerful warship. The station broke apart in a silent explosion, debris scattering across space. Target destroyed, her weapons officer reported. Move to the next position, Sarah ordered. We're not stopping until they understand. The attack had been planned for years. Human forces hit 12 assembly facilities in the span of 6 hours. Military bases, communication relays, supply depots. Each strike was fast, brutal, and efficient. The galaxy watched in shock. The species the assembly had dismissed as dangerous primitives was now proving exactly how dangerous they could be. Magistrate's mistake. Vortok received the reports in disbelief. 12 facilities destroyed. thousands dead. The humans were attacking with a ferocity and coordination that should have been impossible for such a young species. How did they build such a fleet? He demanded. His advisors had no answer. We stopped monitoring them years ago. We assumed they had accepted our judgment. Clearly, we were wrong, Vortok said bitterly. He pulled up the old video of Captain Chen, the human who had first made contact. He remembered her standing on the platform, trying to convince the assembly of humanity's peaceful intentions. He had dismissed her. He had threatened her species. He had made humanity into an enemy. And now that enemy was showing the galaxy what Earth's children could do when they stopped asking for permission. Send a message to all assembly members, Vortok ordered. Full mobilization. We are at war. A new galaxy. 6 months into the conflict, the war had settled into a brutal stalemate. The assembly had numbers, but humanity had desperation and innovation. Human ships were faster, their tactics more unpredictable, their soldiers more determined. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Vengeance, looking at a map of the galaxy. Red marks showed assembly territory. Blue marks showed human-controlled space. The blue was spreading. We're winning, her first officer said. No, Sarah replied. We're surviving. There's a difference. She thought back to that first meeting with Vortok, when she had offered friendship and been rejected. She wondered how different things might have been if the assembly had said yes. If they had given humanity a chance instead of a threat. But they hadn't. They had judged Earth's children as dangerous and tried to cage them. So humanity had shown them what real danger looked like. The communication console beeped. It was a message from President Morrison. Admiral, the Assembly is requesting peace talks. They want to negotiate. Sarah smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Tell them we'll consider it. After they apologize. After they acknowledge that they were wrong. After they learn what it means to respect humanity. She closed the channel and returned her attention to the stars. The galaxy had wanted to see humans as monsters. Well, they had gotten their wish. Now they would learn to live with the consequences. Earth's children were no longer asking for a place among the stars. They were taking it. And the universe would never underestimate humanity again. The war continued, and somewhere in the depths of space, Captain Sarah Chen's words from 5 years ago echoed in the minds of every human soldier. If the galaxy wants to see us as dangerous, then maybe it's time we showed them just how dangerous Earth's children can be. They were showing them now. And the lesson would never be forgotten.